Welcome to the statewide special election forum. This forum will discuss the special election, Proposition 50, and provide guidance on how to vote. This forum is sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Sacramento County and the Sacramento Metro Cable Television Commission. I am Lexi Tesh, the Outreach Coordinator for the League of Women Voters of Sacramento County.
I am Calum Lotto, a member of the League of Women Voters of Sacramento County. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan political organization. We work at the local, state, and the national levels to encourage informed and active participation in government. The League does not support or oppose political candidates or parties. However, we do take positions on legislation, ballot measures, and speak out on governmental issues informed by our studies and positions. If you are interested in public policy or just want to support our volunteer work, we invite you to join us. The League is open to everyone.
We will now begin the forum. This special election is to decide whether to temporarily change California's congressional voting districts through 2030 and then give map drawing back to the Citizens Redistricting Commission in 2031. Why are we having a special election? President Trump asked Texas to redraw congressional districts to help Republicans. So, Governor Newsom asked the California legislature to do the same for Democrats. The maps would be redrawn and used for all congressional elections in California through 2030.
What are districts? Congressional districts are part of a state where people vote for someone to represent them in the U.S. House of Representatives. Every 10 years, the state of California redraws district lines according to the census. How are you represented in Congress? California has 52 districts. Each district elects one representative to the U.S. House of Representatives. Therefore, California is represented by 52 representatives. These representatives serve a 2-year term, and elections are held for them every 2 years.
What is gerrymandering? Political gerrymandering is when district lines are drawn in a way that favors one political party over another, to give that party a better chance of electing candidates they prefer. What is the Citizens Redistricting Commission? The Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission is a group of California voters who are chosen to draw the maps for California's congressional districts. Made up of 5 Republicans, 5 Democrats, and 4 members not affiliated with a party, they must follow certain rules. They are not allowed to draw districts that favor a candidate or political party, and they must listen to and use public input from communities about which neighborhoods should be kept together.
How are things currently? California's congressional district were drawn by the state's Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission in 2021 and are expected to stay in place until 2031. When it drew the district lines, the commission had to follow certain rules. For example, it was not allowed to draw districts that favor a candidate or political party, and it had to use information from people who live in an area about which neighborhoods should be kept together in the same voting district. What is Proposition 50? Proposition 50 is a temporary change to congressional district maps that would allow the new maps to be used until the 2030 census. The fiscal impact would be $200,000 for the state and a few $1,000,000 for the election. For the state, that is less than 0.1% of its $220 billion budget.
People for Prop 50 say, Prop 50 is a short-term, temporary emergency plan needed to stop President Trump's attempt to unfairly rig next year's congressional election. Prop 50 gives voters the ability to approve the district lines in this election. Prop 50 creates fair maps that reflect California's diverse communities and protect our voices from partisan gerrymandering. Prop 50 keeps California a leader in fair elections by preserving its independent redistricting system. Prop 50 strengthens democracy by making sure that Republicans don't have an unfair advantage in Congress.
People against Prop 50 say, Prop 50 is a power grab by politicians that undoes fair election reforms and returns California to gerrymandered districts that benefit politicians over voters. Prop 50 replaces an open public process with secretive political backroom deals. Prop 50 hurts fair representation by dividing neighborhoods and weakening minority voices in elections. Prop 50 lets politicians control district lines for years and could open the door to permanent, not temporary, control. Prop 50 costs taxpayers $200 million when the state is cutting funding to important programs because of budget problems.
A yes vote means that you support the way the proposition would change things. A no vote means that you want to leave things the way they are now. How to vote in this election. Step 1, register to vote. In order to receive a mail-in ballot, you must register to vote by October 20th. If you do not register by then, you can register at a vote center and vote in person. If you are already registered to vote but have not received your ballot, contact the Sacramento County Voter Registration and Elections Office at 916-875-6451 to inquire about your ballot. Step 2, mail in your ballot before or on Election Day. Vote centers are open on October 24th, where you can drop off your ballot or vote in person.
You can register to vote, check your registration, and find out what is on your ballot at vote411.org. To find your polling place, visit sos.ca.gov/elections/polling-place. To view the old and new proposed district maps, visit statewide-database.org/D25/draft-districts/. Thank you, League volunteers, and the wonderful team here at Metro Cable 14.